Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I've been looking through my build playlist and seeing what needs to be updated, and there's a lot on there. I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot to be updated, and Loki, I feel like, yeah, he was really far behind. But, so I'm gonna go over this build, and also different builds, like Conquest, as far as, like, Jungle Loki, and also Solo Lane Loki, which I don't know how many of you guys watch Smite esports, but I do. Last weekend, we saw Game Hunter come back. And he was playing Loki in his solo lane. That match didn't go too well, honestly, but hey, it's nice seeing Loki back in esports for any fans of Loki. So I'd hope by the time I do this video again that, you know, Loki would be remodeled and so does this map, but hey, we got hopes and dreams, right? So like I said, going over this build and different starters, you can do a lot of different things to start off on your build for Loki. So this is a little bit more casual. You could probably, you know, use this type of setup for like arena, Joust 3v3s, Assault, maybe Siege, and things like that. There's no stack items, nothing really crazy here. So starting off with Boots, Warrior Tabby, Loki. Loki is a little bit different of assassins. He's not really like a, I guess you said like a boxer, which kind of just buffs his in-hand basic attacks and just kind of blends you away. He's more of high power, penetration, cooldown reduction, just so that basically equals burst damage, because he just goes in stealth, assassinates, and just gets back out. So Warrior Tabby is going to help you with that, a lot of physical power. Next, Yoan's Wrath. This item does everything. It does high physical power, has mana to complement the cooldown reduction, and also has the physical penetration that we talked about earlier. Next, Hydra's Laminate. This has been nerfed, but I still feel like it's a fairly decent item. You have 30 physical power, which is pretty respectable. It's alright, nothing special. And the cooldown reduction is what we're looking at here, because the thing with assassins, they're really squishy, and with Loki, you need to be able to use your wand to stealth in and go in for the kill, and then, you know, possibly use your stealth again to get back out. So that way you don't get caught out in the back lines and you're dead. So that helps with that. And of course the passive is fairly decent, so if you're familiar with Polynomicon, this is pretty much the same idea. After using an ability, your next basic attack would deal additional damage, which that's what exactly Loki does every single time he attacks somebody. Next, Titan's Bane, penetration, like we talked about earlier. It's a fairly cheap item too. Next, Deathbringer, a lot of physical power on this item. You have crit chance, and if you do crit, you have a 50% increase of that critical damage, which that is a lot. And then after that, you may want to pick up Malice. Feel it's a little bit better than Rage, because 20 extra physical power is really nice, and also adds an additional bleed if you do crit, for a certain percentage of your physical power over a certain duration, which that adds another bleed to your bleed on your one. So they're just gonna bleed out if they ever get away from you. So Conquest stuff. So if you're gonna start, I really want like a sell all button. That would be fantastic, instead of manually clicking all this. Okay, so let's say you're trying to do Solo Lane Loki, which in some scenarios it can work. You may want to pick up Bluestone Pennant, just because of the passive. Because the main thing with Loki lane clearing is you pretty much want to level up your 2 the most. That is your decoy, because your decoy is going to do most of the minion clearing. And a quick tip for clear lanes with the decoy is place your decoy in the back where the archers are, so that way the front melee archers go towards the back of the archers and they all blow up together. So let's see if we can kind of demonstrate, kind of speed up here. Put the Loki in the back, and you see the archers go back, and then they all poof. That's what I was talking about, for anybody that doesn't know that. Alright, so Bluestone Pennant to help with that mana. I don't know why I hit K. Don't hit K, guys. And you may want to go into a stacking item, because it's Conquest, you're going to be farming quite a bit. Stacking items such as like Heartseeker. Heartseeker is a really powerful item, really cheap. But as some of you guys may know, if you do die, the stacks are cut in half. So, like, if you're new to Conquest or new to Loki, it may not be that great of an item, because if you keep dying, this is nothing. It's a really bad item if you keep dying. But for a little bit safer route, you can go ahead and pick up Transcendence. Yeah, it costs almost another 1,000, but hey, it's a stacking item. You get a lot more mana, and you also get a lot more physical power. And if you die, who cares? You still have your stacks. So those you can do that way. Now, if you're jungling as Loki, Sometimes you may see jungle Lokis go straight into Heartseeker and just kind of skip Bumbas. It's kind of up to you. But for reasons you may want to pick up Bumbas, has a really nice passive on it, and then from there you go ahead and go into your stack on item, whether it's Heartseeker or something like that. Now, maybe for like League Joust, you could probably go something like, you can go straight into a stack on item, like let's go back to the Heartseeker. You could probably go like Transcendence and then Boots. You could do something like this. Because for like League Joust, there's no real use for Bumbas Mask, so you can go something into like that, and then go over the rest of the build like I did before, which would pretty much go into Yellow Draft, and then Hydras, and then back into Penetration, and then you pretty much get the point. You know, crit, and whoops, not reach, and go into something like that. Actives. Very important actives are, of course, Sprint, Tier 3, and then Greater Purification Beads. Okay, so when the next patch comes out, the 12th or so, Achilles Spear is going to be buffed a little bit. I'm not sure if that make it a viable option. So I don't know, in the future it could be viable, but just to throw that out there. But for actives, you want to be very mobile as Loki, so you don't get caught off. He's a really squishy guy. So, you know, Purification Beads and Sprint, really great actives to pick up. So that pretty much covers this. Hope it's some type of use for new players for Loki or Smite in general. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.